How can you measure value in SaaS? My guest today is Michaelson, Director of Product at BambooHR. Hello, SaaS leaders. Welcome to Swattage, the Software Innovation Lab. If you're new here, my name is Dale Richards. I'm a software innovator from Salt Lake City, Utah, and I love making software that changes the world. I'm interviewing top experts on the cutting edge of SaaS leadership and sharing their insights with you. If you want to foster innovation, cultivate your culture, and disrupt the market with new software products that change the world, start now by subscribing and hitting the bell.
It seems to me that, especially as product organizations mature, that there tends to be this flywheel effect of we have more product managers, we have more development capacity, and so we can build more stuff. And as you're building more stuff, you're sort of getting to this peak of this curve of the value that a customer can realize. And if you go over that peak, a lot of times we call it the user happiness peak, where you end up with a complex solution that people have a hard time finding value in. And that's a common problem that product organizations run into as they scale, as they get bigger and bigger, is that there's not as much there's not as much evidence of whether a feature or new roadmap item or even new product is especially valuable because it's absorbed into the profit of the entire organization. And so to graduate to like a new level of maturity, the product organization needs to get to a point where they're really good at measuring value. An early product organization will know that because they will run out of business if it's not valuable. But a large organization tends to sustain mediocrity because they don't have a really good way of seeing how incrementally valuable each little feature or roadmap is. And so you have to get to a point where you start to create a methodology around figuring out if there's value. And so what I've sort of gravitated toward is that ideally the best way to measure value is something that Simon Sinek will talk about, which is the start with why, and that if you're following a why, you're creating a cult following, and that value will sort of flow in the wake of that movement, or that great product, kind of like an Apple kind of following that people have. But that's a great way of looking at it at a very high level, but to start diving in and figuring out how to what kind of levers are available to you and what kind of lenses are available to figuring out how things are valuable. I've sort of started to divide it into these 5 main categories. Number 1 is what I call vision, which is it's kind of a proxy for that why that Simon Sinek talks about, which is a good vision is something that you're eternally looking for, but it's also very elemental, like the difference between Blockbuster Video and Netflix, for example. And I don't know all the details about how they arrived here, but Blockbuster Video did a great job of a business model based on brick and mortar stores that give you a rental of some kind of media that you physically take home with you. Netflix, I don't know how they started out, but they, in terms of their vision definition, but they started out with videos like in a similar kind of manner, it was by mail or whatever, but then eventually they adapted into streaming. And then eventually now they're producing content. And so the difference there is that one was focused on the medium and the specifics of the product, and then the other one was focused on something much more elemental, which is a long-lasting sort of eternal thing, is that people want to be entertained in their home. So that allows them to be video delivery, it allows them to be streaming, it allows them to create content. And so that's a vision that's very sustainable. It'll go on and outlive every current iteration of the product. So that first area of measurement is the vision. Is it doing what it's supposed to do? And are we moving toward that thing?
Don't forget that if you want to get the full interview on value measurement with Michaelson, you can sign up at swattage.com/SaaS Club and join our mailing list for exclusive access to bonus materials not available on the channel. Join us again every Friday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time for more interviews and content right here on Swattage, the Software Innovation Lab. We'll see you next time.